Impassioned pleas for Yeller to trade Red Wings finally have a home. Mike, we had a couple of home games and it was supposed to go our way. When we play at home, it's supposed to work out. What the hell's going on? So we're going to talk about a couple of games not going our way, not having any fun watching the last couple of games, or at least last 5 minutes against the Capitals and most of that game against the Bruins. No offense. Mike, I tweeted out. I was incorrect. I said you will not win games with only scoring one goal. It's incorrect. You can shut them out. But what I meant to say was it is very difficult to win games with only one goal.
Yes, it is. This is a pretty rough couple days here. I had COVID, and I thought I still have COVID, and I thought maybe Red Wings will give me a nice little pick me up, and instead they just pushed me back down. All my optimism. Boy, did I feel like a seller at the trade deadline today. Let me tell you, all those fleets of fancy that things were going to turn around, and Verana's coming back, and I don't know, maybe we'll squeak in at number 8. I know we've played more games in Boston, but let's just give them heck on Sunday. And the Boston Bruins open up a big old can of heck and destroyed us. And I got to say, Matt, Brad Marchand, he got booed every time he touched the puck today. And I know we want to get deeper into it. And right. I'd love to have him on our team because he looked like he wanted to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they tweeted out the other day. I was looking for some fan club, like I was trying to, kind of do some hey Red Wings fans kind of tweet, like we're all buddies and we're great and we're such a good team and everything works out kind of tweet. So I said I took a screenshot of this game for today, and this is while we're playing the Capitals, and I said, hey, it'll be fun to have a game that has some playoff implications, finally. And yeah, like nothing. Not a like, definitely not a retweet, no comments. Nobody saying like, shut up. Nobody saying.
The rest of the Red Wing faithful, they knew. They knew our optimism was misguided. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, that must be it. Like, I was just too excited for this game. I wanted too much out of it.
It was not an incorrect assessment. It really did have playoff implications, and these two games imply that we will be watching them from home.
Those are the implications. Gray Ford's here. The comment's not popping up.
Yeah, I just got Gray on there. How you doing, Gray?
Show. Is it really not? Is it showing up for you? It's not showing.
I just got Gray. Yeah, I got Gray Ford saying, "Holy crap!" I clicked, and y'all's just started. I'm first, and a big old smiley face.
Poo poo.
How you doing, Gray?
I wonder if I'm gonna have to refresh this because I can see that my I'm really worried about how my video quality is gonna look because I have a little twirling circle in the middle of my screen right now. Like, so you're fine. Yeah. You have just like your picture. You're at your home. You're recording, but then I just
look like I have COVID and jaundice from all the yellow I'm wearing. But this is actually a fashion choice I made today.
You should do that TikTok trend where you smile like everything's black and white except for the things around you, just to see if your teeth are yellow.
Oh well, I just had a bunch of Taco Bell. I probably got some of that cheese on my teeth, so probably don't need to do that experiment right now. But yeah. Gray Ford, hope you didn't watch too much of that Red Wing game today. Hopefully you tuned into there we go. Boston gonna learn. Wait till we get some of those young giants the next couple years.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, like, do we just play it off like this game didn't happen and we'll just talk about Simon Edvinsson for this whole episode? Oh man. All right, so here's what's happening now, just to give you guys the play-by-play. Mike loves when I pull the curtain back.
I will say before you get into that, your audio and visual is coming through clear. I know last couple weeks you had some issues, but it's coming through. Right.
That's good to hear. But so what I'm seeing right now on my screen is very slowly, it's like a ghost of Gray's comment. So it's like slowly appearing. So it's not quite there. It's the living dead ghost. Gray does wish you well, Mike. Get feeling better. So, do you see that one?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that.
I might need you to read off all the comments today, so I know you can actually see it.
Happy to do it.
Performance Art here. What's up, my man?
He's just saying hola. Hope you're doing well.
So we have a lot of not fun stuff to talk about. So why don't we do one fun thing here? Sabrango gets his first goal. I think, what did they list it as? It's like your first pro goal in North America. There it is. Game winner, 4-2 victory against Milwaukee for the Griffins. Mike, I've been going off. The two of us have been going off about Sabrango from this perspective of, well, let's see. We'll recap all the things that I think are noteworthy of Sabrango. I think number one is that he was the first person to sign of the 2020 class, of course, before Lucas Raymond. But also, all of his coaches seem to keep coming back to the fact that he is always looking to learn more and just wants to improve. And I think that's huge for Sabrango. And I think it's something that, looking at a 19-year-old kid that's playing AHL hockey, that just does not happen very often. So these are the kind of things you want to see for Sabrango to try and get him to be elevated to for the Wingdings before the end of the season, which would be kind of fun. There's enough trades and injuries that could happen. That was one of our videos to start the season. It is possible, but one of those reasons are mostly is going to be this kid's attitude. You don't get that very often, I would say, is just article after article written about the guy. And most of them, I would say, I would have you guys head on over to The Athletic and check out Max Boltman and Scott Wheeler when they're talking about Sabrango. But his coaches just love his work ethic and his, I guess, what would it be? It's got to be humility, right? And it's the honesty he has with his own game because he knows he's not done. And I just feel like we don't hear that too often from players. And that's one of the things I kept coming back to. I never have been gushing about this guy as like, there's our pure goal scorer on the D line. Like it's not what we're not going to get a guy production defenseman here. But if he's doing what all of his coaches seem to be saying from every level he's ever played at, is that he's just determined to get better. It's not going to
yeah, it sounds like he's you're just going to be doing a little bit more of what we call on the show the deep cut analytics, because we're not expecting him to be getting goals and assists. It looks like he's going to be hopefully more in the mold of like a let's say a Stetcher.
I don't know how I want to put him, because he says himself, he said he was a hybrid of old school hockey with that he has the desire, like the modern desire to possess the puck, is how he put it. So the old school side of him, I think we've seen in a few of his highlight reels where he's unloading on some fouls. But, I feel like the way that he was describing it too, like he wishes that, holding a wooden stick was still a part of the game kind of thing. And that's cool. Like, that's the kind of guy that when he gets called up, Mickey Redmond's going to absolutely love him and want to share ginger ale. But, I just love that idea too, that he recognizes that and he wants to own this. I'm going to come out and scrap, but I also, if he says he wants to add a modern flair of offensive possession and try and score, again, saying he wants to add it, that's just good news. He just wants to keep on improving.
I think it's just fun for us to kind of get a goal and be able to talk about him. I know on like the prospect lists, they talk about him being decisive, taking the right angles, winning puck battles, that kind of skill, which is something that especially we're going to be talking about Mo Cider in a minute with a few of his highlights, even in defeat. But yeah, it's nice to see this point so we can talk about all the other good things that, it looks like he's doing. And based on past couple days, like you kind of alluded to, he might not be that far away from a call-up, at least for a cup of coffee here. Good Lord.
If he wants to play on the left side, absolutely. I'd have to look up real quick which side he's playing on.
Left side. Yeah.
Oh my God. Perfect. Thank you for looking that up. Holy crap.
Yeah, but maybe a hole will open up.
Maybe.
Maybe one of these three holes will open up.
Now, what we'd like to do, Mike, is we don't want to put a hole in anybody's pocket. So as we mentioned in the last episode, we have our new shop that's up. Our old shop was garbage. It's crap. Mike, I talked about how our old shop, it would take forever to get things shipped. So working with Teespring now, you guys head on over to bodpodcast.com, brothersofdiscussion.com. I put in my order. My stuff is already on the way, scheduled to be here tomorrow. Holy crap. Okay.
Wow.
They work through the holiday.
Do they deliver through Uber Eats or something? Oh my God.
So I just wanted to show you guys the last episode. Those prices were pretty high. So everything came down at least $10 on like every product on here. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, brothersofdiscussion.com, bodpodcast.com, and then just click on the shop button on that homepage there.
Stock up on those crop hoodies before I do.
I hope you guys will find something you're interested in. Oh, you know what? Don't look at see this one, Mike. This one right here, $52.99. That is a lower price when you go to checkout. There's your $9 sticker, Mike. You heard me updating that, so that is lower price. I'm sorry. These are lower. Here, these are the ones that have definitely updated. There's the $19 T-shirt. There you go. See,
beautiful. Yeah.
All right.
We're the only shop that we lower the price at checkout.
I swear to God, by the next episode, when we scroll through this thing, it'll be fine. All right, Tristan's here. What's up, buddy? Gray Ford throws out there, as much as the Boston, Washington, for that matter, losses have hurt, the position this team is in compared to last season is one of the best improvements in the league. Can't ask for better. That great. I should have saved your comment because we're about to take a huge dump. Performance art. I honestly believe that Cider has an offense that he doesn't even know he has yet. I really believe that. And I don't know. That might be a good transition, Mike, before we... Well, you know what? We lost, right? Like, we lost these two games. What really are we going to say? I think the Washington game would really like to have that Robbie Fabry penalty back. One of those things where if you're a Red Wings team playing the Capitals, you can't afford to have a penalty like that late. And a lot of people are going to turn around and say, well, Washington should have been called for a penalty right before that. And I get it. But if you wanted to win that game, it was going to be anything and everything to make sure that you were keeping that at least 1-1 going into overtime. I think that was how the Red Wings were going to beat the Capitals.
Yeah, I think that losing those games isn't necessarily like a giant shocker, but I think it's just kind of I don't even know if I want to use the word disappointing, but it's just kind of like these were real measuring stick games against teams that suddenly care about the standings and they're healthy and they want to move up. And in both instances, we were just out talented, kind of outclassed, and I just wanted to take one note was Blashill was very quick to say the loss against Boston that was not related to rust. This was a lack of understanding what it's going to take to win a game like this. So I do like that he very quickly snuffed out, this is, we're just coming back from COVID. We got half the team coming back. Games are tough. It's a long season. He immediately snuffed that out and said, no, that was Boston kicking our ass. So I think that kind of leadership is, again, another, one of those items that when we look back, is Blashill a good coach? I still am going to get on his bandwagon and be like, yeah, when he makes kind of, comments like that, I'm happy he's in Detroit.
Well, I do have actually have it queued up what Blash had to say at the end of the game. Do you want to play that right now?
Yeah, sure.
I think this won't get us in any trouble, right? Because it's not like this was on Bally, right?
It's also not remotely affiliated with WWE.com, right? Because they are...
Right, they're pretty strict. All right, tell me if you don't hear this, but let's. I got Blash queued up.
I thought we got through the first lucky a little bit. I thought it could have been worse than 1-1. I thought they came and they had played yesterday with battle test. I thought they came and competed harder than us in the first. I thought our competition level was better in the second. I got to find a way to score on the power play or build momentum off it. And then we weren't good enough. Obviously, in the third, we made some defensive blunders. I thought as the game went along, we didn't have enough ozone time. We didn't have enough sustained time. We need to find a way. Again, this is what winning teams do. You check great, and you create offense from your checking. And we got to find a way to check great and create offense at the same time. And it's not an easy thing, but it's something that ultimately we want to build here to a championship level team that we're going to have to learn how to do. So we're going to keep working at it. Yeah, and I think conference spreads to specialty teams as well, both PP and PK, and I think
PP.
We gotta understand how we're going to have success, and that's quick puck movement and getting people to the cage. And if you do that consistently, you're going to have success. And so we just got to make sure we're doing a better job of that, and we're going to earn our confidence then.
All right. Can I just say, I can't remember the last time I saw a post-game interview where somebody looked so visibly nauseated by the performance that they just witnessed. Because that power play was brutal. God, was it the one in the second period where Boston, literally most of the possession was on our side, like our defending end?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite one, I've decided to include this in my top 50 worst passes of all time, was in the first period.
Can you please write those down? Because I would love to see those. At some point, we want to see this list, man. But yeah.
I've gotten in trouble before by like putting in like this has got to be the worst, blah, 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 ever. But I feel pretty safe that this is in my top 50 somewhere. Like once I finally figure out what these 50 passes are. But Hronek, just with the lamest turd sandwich of a pass, I felt like that is what got everything started for this power play to be so bad. Because it just kind of showed that Boston was going to be playing tight. You weren't just going to be given any free entries into the zone. And this was an exit of the defensive zone. So to your point, with in the second period when we couldn't even get out of the defensive zone on the power play, Hronek started it off early with this lame duck pass. I really like it. Looked like as it was leaving his stick, he immediately regretted the decision. Like it was not even before it left his stick. It was like the muscles were moving and then they wanted to retract, but that's not how the puck works on ice.
Yeah.
And momentum. So it just, as he was trying to like give himself a mulligan on the play, the puck just kept rolling as slow as possible right up to Boston. And then they go in on a 2-on-1, and then Nedeljkovic, who, Mike, can we mention real quick? We get shellacked today, but Nedeljkovic still had a positive goal saved above expected on 5-on-5. We've talked about this on numerous occasions. That
you think he brings that up in the postgame?
Hey guys, I'm still saving more goals than I'm supposed to. What do you want me to do? Like, it's just I can't do any more. Yeah. I'm expected to give up 5 goals.
It was expected to be a lot worse if I wasn't out there, so you're welcome.
And this is a good, fun one to come back to. Tristan, Grice's poo, performance art, lost to Washington. It was all Grice's fault. I just think it's funny.
Yeah. Nedeljkovic, like that. God, what is that guy's name? Holick? What the hell is going on? The guy who had the shorthanded goal?
Yeah, let me pull that up. But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like on our power play, it was so like so passive. We were watching them control the puck, and I think we were all just like all the Red Wings were just kind of watching and waiting for them to start dumping the play into the corner. And Boston was like, "No, we're not dumping it. We're gonna get on the point and try and get a shot off, and then we're gonna try and get a break." In between the circles. And the Red Wings just kept like lining guys up behind the goaltender to be like, all right, I'm ready for that dump now. And Boston was like, nope, this is a scoring opportunity. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get another scoring chance. And it was just, it's just like a weird, it was almost like the Red Wings are kind of looking at each other like, why are they still trying to score? I'm confused. They're on the penalty kill. They're supposed to give it back. And they never acquiesced to this strange belief held by the entire power play unit.
Right. It's an unspoken rule, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's our turn. This is our turn to score. Yeah, give it back. Yeah.
Evidence to Tristan's point here. He's looking forward to this offseason. Strong believer making the playoffs now this season will hurt this team more than help. This offseason, we have a chance to revamp our bottom six and defense. Next year, we solidify a top 3 spot in the division. Woo! Those are 2 very different statements there, both from Tristan. I would say, a top 3 spot really in a division, that still leaves a lot of wiggle room to become the 3rd spot and to only challenge for that 3rd spot. So that's not too crazy of a comment there from Tristan now that I think about it. Performance art, I didn't pre-read, I didn't screen this. Let's just jump in here. Anybody who doesn't like Blash will probably never like Blash at this point. Nobody could get more out of this team at this point. Is he perfect? No. But he's a good coach. Thank you, performance art. That's a great comment. I will still like the hill I will die on when it comes to NHL coaches is that the margin between all of the middling coaches, when you take out the absolute worst of all time and the absolute top 5, everything else has to be razor thin when it comes to the margin between all the rest of those coaches. So I think Jeff comfortably fits in that middle zone. There are folks who think he's the worst coach of all time. I don't get it. Not the case. Yeah.
He's at least better than SpongeBob's dad.
Tristan, he's good for now. He knows how to coach. He has a strong connection to these players. I think that's very.
Can I also say, like
the
on that
strongest
comment,
thing
Matt,
he brings to this team?
And I want you to respond to this too. Can you bring that comment back up?
Which one, Tristan?
This one, the strong connection to these players.
Yeah.
So he comes out of this Boston game and just says, definitely not rust. This was an ass kicking by Boston. We need to everybody on the team needs to pick up their, gameplay level and get to their, play like Boston does when it's a game that matters. When he says that, I don't know if it's necessarily that our best players are also our young players and he could get away with that, or is it more about the people that Yzerman's assembled, where when he says something like that, I don't think anyone listening to this show or who watched that broadcast would disagree with what he said. Do you think that he can get away with that comment then with the youth of this team? Or is it because of the personalities that we have? Like nobody was, upset in the locker room or anything like that. It's almost like there was a collective understanding that, yeah, he was right.
I think so. I think there's something I would want to bring up in that the first period break, they had Tyler Bertuzzi speaking with Trevor Thompson, I think. And they brought up playoffs to Tyler. And I would challenge y'all to go back and watch that interview because it almost sounded like Tyler was scoffed. Like he nearly guffawed, definitely a scoff at the thought of this team making it to the playoffs. And that's a player on this team that should be trying their darndest to get in there. If anything, at the very least, it caught Tyler off guard that he was asked about the playoffs. And he sort of played it off and was like, well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna play hard till the end of the season was kind of how we wrapped it up.
Yeah.
But I think that's key in figuring out, I mean, to answer your question, figuring out what these players think of this team. I mean, they have to go into it being honest with themselves, right? I mean, this team's lacking, right? That's got to be a part of it. They know how young they are. And sometimes that honesty, like what, if Jeff is coming in and saying this isn't rust, that's something like Cider and Raymond need to hear too. Raymond comes away with a pretty good game from an advanced analytics perspective. From a production standpoint, I think we all, we're hoping for a little bit more, especially if we were going to compete with Boston today. So it's I think it's good for them to hear it. I think the honesty is good. And I think if we can all agree that he probably does have a good relationship with these players, then they know it's something they can trust, right? Like if that trust wasn't built, if there wasn't a relationship there already, sometimes these kind of notions are just going to fall as like, this is the coach protecting himself. Right. I mean, Jeff has basically been doing one of the hardest jobs in hockey, is playing or coaching for a team that everyone picks to finish in the bottom 5 for the last few seasons. Right.
Right.
And there's nothing he can really do at this point to like say, I deserve to keep this job. Besides the fact that he's been doing it for so long, and you could make like the argument, maybe he does deserve a shot to play with, to coach a better team and see what he does with it. But I think it's pretty clear why he is on this team is that we've always pegged him as like a good growth coach. He's going to massage these guys into position to learn, and he's okay with taking all the losses on his own record. So that all, I think, is coupled together to create this identity of Jeff Blashill that the players can trust when he says, you got to play better. This was dog crap. This isn't going to do it. And you hope it lights a fire, but it is a couple of games in a row, Mike, too, that we're only getting one goal. And if Dylan Larkin isn't getting a hat trick, if Tyler Bertuzzi isn't shooting 60%, which I'd have to check the numbers and see what he actually shot tonight. See where that actually landed. How many shots did Bertuzzi finish with? He shot 50%. So that's it. He didn't shoot 60%. So we can't get a win, Mike. If
he should have shot one last time, man. How many times did he shoot?
Yeah, that 100% would have done a lot of good for us. He shot twice. But you see where I'm coming from. I think like Jeff, in being this coach that has been through so much, I think just adds to. I don't want to say it's not like you're looking for opportunities to build on your own profile, but everything that he's done creates that profile, creates that identity, and it's easier for the guys to believe in. All right, there's a huge conversation going on because Dwex popped in here and says Detroit are still trash. Stop overhyping this trash team.
Overhyping? We've done is knock them down a peg. What's the banter here?
No, think about that, Mike. We're still overhyping them by talking about go to our Twitter account. I was making jokes about tanking today, so clearly Dwex is concerned.
So Dwex is implying that's not like God. These losses aren't even tanking. Like this is more an example of what it is. We are what we are. Is that what Dwex is getting at?
I think Dwex might be trolling a little bit, Mike, because he came in with this.
Raymond is overrated. Woo!
Rookie forward.
This Calder Cup candidate, overrated. Got it.
So Tristan says Dwex might be trolling. Dwex comes in. Tristan, no, it's my opinion, really. I don't think he is that good, as people say. So then Tristan comes in.
Does he like a different rookie leader in points? Which rookie leader in points does he prefer?
Yeah, Dwex, I think what you're missing here, so he's complaining about how many goals have gone in for Raymond. Dwex, don't forget, like, this is still a team that the first line center on this team is somebody that we were all unsure should be a first line center for an NHL franchise. Like, we were all kind of trying to peg like Shane Wright. Now we're all playing the Connor Bedard game, and it's just this never-ending game of trying to find our first line center. And he gets plugged into this line as a rookie on the first line and has racked up all the points that he's racked up. Dwex, the one, probably two guys on this team you can't complain about this year at any point are Cider and Raymond because they're so young. What are you talking about, dude?
At 19, I was in community college trying to set my own masturbation record. And this guy's going for the Calder Cup and disappointing Dwex. I'm sorry. I'm going to give him a little bit of leash here as a 19-year-old. Still doing really well. And very likely on his case to winning the Calder Cup. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Dwex, like, as people learn, like, what Raymond is capable of, they're going to create strategies and defenses that are revolving around stopping him. He is smaller, too, so he needs to figure out how to use the size, the size body that he was born with and use that to his own advantage, figure out what he needs to do there because he's using this season to learn how to adjust to. I mean, you saw the physical game today. I think it was Bergeron that gave him the shoulder and the elbow on one hit, so it was consecutive blows. That's what's going to happen in your rookie season. I've asked before, as the show goes, like, what are we doing in the NHL if that's like the normal thing? We're doing rookie hazing. And some people enjoy that. They think it's good fun. Just more brain damage for Lucas Raymond, I guess, as he grows into an adult. But it's also a reality. And as that reality continues to... I don't know. It's just it's something for Lucas that he's going to have to get used to, but it's going to turn into something where every single time it happens, it's a new opportunity for him to learn. So, Dwex, sure, you can be frustrated. Like maybe, you wanted him to be on a goal per game pace. Tristan was making fun of him, saying, I guess you were expecting Teemu Solani numbers.
Last I checked, he's still got 28 points in 33 games. He's still leading all the rookies, all of them. And in third place is Moritz Seider. So I'm willing to, say he's probably going to be pretty okay. At least, can we go that far?
Yeah. So, Mike, we did have a couple of I don't know. I guess. All right, we'll wrap this up, right? We lost 2 games. We lost them at home. It wasn't fun to watch. I will put it that way. This second game, especially against the Bruins. We need more offense. We can be mad at Grice. We can be happy that Nedeljkovic finished with a positive goals saved above expected somehow in this game. But
I know you had
the problem here is the offense and the power play, and I don't want that to be forgotten. However mad we want to be mad at Grice for the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean the expectation shouldn't be a shutout from that guy, right? But the other positive, I don't think we got to fire it up yet. Did you have the Moritz Seider highlight queued up?
That's what I was going to transition into that, and just kind of wanted to,
because there's some positives to make you feel good about the next decade of Red Wing hockey, as long as we give this guy a mortgage here, mortgage contract. Because oh my god. There's just 3 incredible, effective physical plays. What was that, about a 15-second span that we're about to show here?
Yeah, and I hope, everybody could be familiar with this already. For anybody listening to the podcast, of course, we always like to mute these things so they don't get taken off our YouTube channel. I think this was Hathaway was the first hit. Rolling through. Like, Cider's just got his head on a swivel. Boom, another hit. It's Hathaway twice. That's what that was. Yeah. And I think it's somebody help me out. Was that Dowd on the last one? That was coming in for the hit.
We just saw
Cider,
a dead body.
Cider just brushes him off. It's 3 consecutive hits. I think Cider even went off for a penalty by the end of this, but this is now replaying for all the YouTube viewers here. Man,
and then there's a Washington scrum at the end here. I don't know why they're trying to fight him. I mean, those are all pretty clean hits. I don't know if they're just like, hey, stop beating us all up.
Yeah, and especially on the last one where they're taking a run at Cider, and Cider's just a big boy. And he's just like, no, what are you doing? Like, I get you're angry, but I'm still a beast here. I'm still a giant. Thanks, AJM Patriot, confirming that was Dowd on that last one there. Mike, did you get to see the pasta hit today? There was some pasta thrown around on the ice.
Was that pasta? I thought Marchand was trying to cannonball into him, and then he just stood him up.
Here's this is Ryan Hanna from some other podcast. Get this queued up. He's the one who said it was pasta. So let me pull up the pasta.
I could be mistaken. I'm okay to learn.
No, Ryan Hanna, can you really trust, these guys from the Wing Wheel podcast? I don't know. I don't think so. But here it is anyway. It's straight from his Twitter account. I believe when I hit play here for anybody watching on YouTube that Cider's already got the puck here. Here comes pasta across the ice. Boom. We just reset this here and let everybody watch it a couple more times here. Now this is a faraway replay for us watching on YouTube, but I mean, this is still a pretty clean way for Cider to get rid of the puck. And you gotta like how quickly he gets rid of the puck, and we can't even do this in less than a half a second, but he has to set his body and also deliver what's coming at Pasta. It's got to be clean too, because it's 1-1 at this point. It's 4-on-4. We can't let it be 4-on-3. And Cider does everything perfectly clean. It teaches Pasta a lesson. You can't go flying in at Cider. Germans like their sausage, Mike. Not huge fans of pasta. I'm sorry. I apologize for that one.
I just when we called this guy up, I didn't know that. I know he was, a large human being. Is he 6'4"? I just didn't know he would have like a Chara presence about him, where he would just bully everybody around him on the other team. And he's so good. He almost plays like an NBA center too, like Shaq, where he kind of uses his body. And he has the ability to be like dexterous and be agile, but he's so good at positioning that he also, uses his big, reach, big butt, and then just, pretty much does whatever he fancies on the ice.
Yeah, and I want to come back to the awareness too, to take that half a second to line up that retaliation. Pasta run across the. Let's not forget. We'll come back. We'll remind Dwex here of the rookies here on this team. 20 years old, Mike. 20. And another element to that, he's 197 pounds now, and he can absorb those hits like that. He's going to be building more beef and muscle as these years go on. I know this is just one of those things where we got to end the tail end of this episode with some positives here. So you got to come back and remind everybody. Number one, Lucas is still having a great rookie season. But number two, Cider is just, it's to the moon right now. And if anything, Mike, I tweeted out the way Cider was playing against Washington, and then this has probably continued today with the physicality that it's like he's turned it up to a whole nother level since coming back from the Christmas break. I don't know what he was eating for Christmas dinner at the Larkin house, but by the way, side note, cutest story over the COVID break that Dylan Larkin invited Mo Cider over for Christmas.
Oh,
yeah, super sweet.
Can I put in another bid for that, by the way?
Oh yeah, what was the cutest story?
Second cutest story was Cam Talbot on the Minnesota Wild, goaltending with a puffball Hannah.
Oh yeah,
on top of his helmet, a little. Yeah. It didn't help at all. He still gave up like 5 goals, but it was cute as a button with his little hat skating around out there.
How about that? Would you go to a Winter Classic, Mike?
Yeah, I would go. Hopefully it's not the Minnesota, ice blizzard of just death. It was like ninth circle cold yesterday.
Yeah, Ryan O'Reilly had that ice beard.
Yeah, that was
the
pretty
game
nuts.
Started. That was crazy.
I was really proud of Minnesota though, because they had like the deer blinds, they had ice fishing set up. They really went all out. I thought that was really cool.
I saw that they were putting on it was like burn ointment, but for extreme cold weather that they were putting on the players' ears because all their ears are exposed, wearing the helmets.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that they played in that type of temperature. Also, Mike, crazy. If you look at the top 5 coldest games of all time, you'll find on that list the 2014 Winter Classic, which of course, is
that the one you attended?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the most dirty, disgusting days of my life, which I've told this story before on the show, but literally spending like an hour inside the men's room because of that blizzard. And that was the warmest place, was the men's room. There was no other
You were farting on each other just to stay warm.
Yeah, we were running into folks that we knew from like high school at the game because that's where the hangout was. Everybody, you've got 100,000 people jamming into every restroom. You're going to see somebody you know. That's fine.
Yeah, I heard it was it got very like turn of the century, like Chicago, where people were wrapping themselves in newspaper just to stay warm, like human kindling.
I I did do it wrong. Like, I didn't have snow pants on. I didn't do hand warmers. So I definitely came. I was
ill prepared. Ill prepared, we'll say. Yeah.
So if I went again, I do recommend snow ski pants, hand warmers, probably like a thin pair of gloves plus another, probably mittens. Gloves aren't the option in that type of weather. And something to cover the head real tight, and then another hat on top. It was a bonehead move.
I do hope that they, when they bring it back in some capacity, I don't know if they're going to do the big house again, but it'd be cool to do they had deer blinds and ice fishing. Maybe we could throw snowballs at cars on I-75. Maybe that's a game we could play, the Detroit version. Quick bid for any other Detroit snow activities we could do.
Ooh, well, I was going to mention, I thought it was pretty funny to see everybody race and to see how much snow they could melt on the side of the road because it was a blizzard and because it was New Year's Day. Everything was closed, so everybody was on the side of the highway taking a piss. And most of them were Toronto Maple Leafs fans because, they had to go. They're making their trip across the country and everything's closed when they get over here. So what else were they going to do? But I thought that was a fun game, was just to see how big of a yellow river we could make on the side of 94. I
think the other cool thing would be, let's say, just for example, I know you probably want an original 16, but if we ended up playing like Tampa, and whenever there's like a national broadcast, they're always shocked that when we get snow on our windshields, you have to scrape it off. They're like, wow, doesn't that damage the car? Look at these madmans in Michigan. So I would like to have like the national broadcast team have to scrape snow off like a brand new Camaro or something, and watch them kind of gingerly do it while some, Detroit, born and bred just chugga. It's just, cracking ice off the front of it.
See,
that'd be pretty cool.
This is where I'm always siding with finding the cooperative games to play instead of the more competitive ones. So that's where I'm like, let's see if we can all just build a big old yellow river. Like, everybody come together, 100,000 people. And I'm trying to avoid making a game where I've got to compete. I just wanted us all to have fun and have a willy river. All right. Mike, I did have queued up. Part of the conversation today was going to wrap around all the physicality the Red Wings have been adding to their game, including Vladdy doing the Lord's work.
I thought you were going to finally give some credit to my boy Fabry, who he's been throwing his weight around past couple games. Not that he has a lot of weight, but he has been throwing it around. Is there any way he can take Rasmussen aside and teach him how to do that?
I wonder how much of that is just Rasmussen's inability to keep up with the game that is slowing him down.
Listen, we know you have a skating problem. Why don't you use other players to stop your momentum?
I guess we could center it around that, and then Vladdy taking out Marchand, and I refer to it as the Lord's work because it's Marchand, like he's a little rat-faced creep. So I won't. I'm not going to bore the podcast listeners and play that video. Or you know what? I could, right? It's just I just got to pull it up. Anyway,
gotta be a better way to phrase that. What clip were you going to bring up?
Vladdy and Marchand going at it.
It wasn't the worst fight ever. I've seen worse fights.
Well, you got to respect, Vladdy knowing like he's got to play to the crowd too at the end of the fight where he's trying to rile everybody up. Mike, I wanted to bring this up because one of the things that people are always complaining about when they're trying to identify why the Red Wings aren't winning and they don't just focus on the talent level and us scoring goals is that they always talk about us adding physicality to the game. I would say these last couple of games where we've mustered 2 full goals, physicality was turned up to 11. If I may, somebody can shout me and shout at me and say, no, you're way off there, buddy. We need 10 more fights, which listen, you 60-year-old fool. It's just not going to happen. But this is kind of where I'm coming from. Is I just wanted to point out, like, we got some physicality, and it didn't just automatically equal a win. I think there's still like strategic elements of being physical, like Cider standing up to Dowd and Pasta these last couple of games. That's a great way to be physical and make sure it helps your team. I'm not saying Namestnikov shouldn't have done this fight. I'm just kind of pointing this out as to kind of play this game of like, all right, we did it.
You know what? I will. I will say I agree. There were definitely moments I could call out where they did get physical. They did try to assert themselves, but I could count on maybe one hand in the past 2 games spots where I felt like we dominated offensively, or it felt like, man, we're on the cusp of making 2-3 couple goals in a row here. It just felt like we were getting our asses kicked, especially in this Boston game. But Tristan thrown in the comment, I was hoping DeKaiser would fight so he'd break his hand or something and be out for 2 months. That's all of us, Tristan. Then maybe Sabrango could get a chance. Yeah, or Edmondson. Jesus, at this point.
That's so far. Sabrango.
I'm still going to say it because it's still a better option. It's still a better option.
I will say Sabrango could happen tomorrow. Edmondson's got, I think the SHL. Didn't we learn last year with Mo Cider? Like they hang on to those boys until the season's over.
I know it's not going to happen. I just,
Well, no, it's not going to happen right now. It could happen at I'm not sure when the SHL season ends, but I think because of how deep we're going.
Oh, they handcuff you to the bed.
Could. Yeah, they're just not allowed to come over. But Sabrango could come tomorrow. Now, coming back to Tristan's point there, yeah, if you want to make the argument, you want DeKaiser to get in a battle every night so he can break his hand. I'm cool with that. I'm fine.
I'm on board.
Light it up. Can I point out too that Bertuzzi goal? DeKaiser probably made the wrong call there. So he went down low and completely missed a wide open Lucas Raymond for a one-timer. I mean, like, we scored, right? And you don't want to play that game. Don't take a goal off so that Lucas Raymond can throw it at the net. But that's that element where you're playing the expected goals game, like when we're looking at it and we want to see the Red Wings get more expected goals than the other team. That's where DeKaiser makes the choice instead of going down low and accidentally goes in the perfect spot for Bertuzzi to just bump it in the net. Instead, should have thrown it over to Lucas Raymond. I'm going to get some flack for that because it was an actual goal. But
if you go back to the tape, after the goal goes in, I saw Blashill going like this. And I think he's trying to get DeKaiser's assist taken away because he made he made the wrong decision. So I just want to unassisted goal. Unassisted goal. Fuck. And then I saw him get mad because now DeKaiser thinks he's back. He's on a point streak now.
All right. I'm gonna say I'm watching the replay now.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been silly for him to pass to Lucas Raymond because he's like 6 feet away.
We've already committed to it, man. Don't show us the replay. We're already on board with this JFK conspiracy here.
Should I show it?
He should have went back to the left. No, don't show it, man. Don't give us evidence.
All right,
just Oliver Stone it. We'll make a movie later.
No, yeah. Come on, DeKaiser. Get your crap together. You and your lucky assist.
Yeah, he should have passed back to the left. All right, that's our last JFK reference. Yes, I just watched that movie. All right, go ahead.
Was there anything else to talk about? Anybody have any pressing matters? Brad, heard Vladdy stuck his tongue in Brad's ear when they were down on the ice. Ooh. That's just fun to read. I don't there's no comment there.
Yeah, I can't validate that, but that's a good
here's
story.
Eric is helping me out here. They have to finish the season in the SHL before coming over. Tristan throws out there, why do I feel like DeKaiser has less shots on goal in his career than Mark Stahl has goals?
Sometimes it's not a statistic. Sometimes it's a feeling. like Grice being poo-poo. We've seen what happens when he plays a few games in a row. But that feeling he makes you feel like he's poo-poo.
I think we're good on DeKaiser, right? Like, can we just wrap this up?
He's still an assistant captain, right?
Remember, weren't we trying to argue like that was there's no credence to him not being traded because he has that A on his chest. Who takes the A once we give up on DeKeyser? I'm not even saying like he's not getting traded because nobody's going to want him. But
I just wanted to pull up Cap Friendly because I couldn't remember. This would be almost back-to-back seasons with the Red Wings waiving assistant captains. Oh, Franz Nielsen, also an assistant captain. Justin Advocator, also briefly an assistant captain. So we're going to be paying former assistant captains. Advocator is still $2.5 million all the way through 25-26. Nielsen, former assistant captain, just $500,000 next year. But yeah, when at least DeKeyser, it's just his contract's going to be up. So a lot of former assistant captains is going to be available if anybody wants them.
Can I just say it's really hard to look at this lineup and pick who the filler would be should DeKeyser bounce?
You mean a new assistant?
Yeah, or alternate, whatever.
Oh, God. I mean, Bert doesn't have one.
Yeah, but do you want to give it to Bert? You know what I mean? Like, did he do everything for the team that he needed to do?
I would, man, I'd buckle in because you know who's probably going to get it? Old Cannonball himself, Robbie Fabry. Woo-hoo! The $4 million man.
Performance art, DDK is a giant farce. Oh, his alternate captain is a giant farce. Now Brad throws out there the alternate's going to Zadina. Woo!
Man.
Can I just say what's kind of funny? I feel like Nick Leddy would get it before most of the guys that are on the roster. Yeah, so Leddy's not on my current page right now because he's out. He's on COVID protocol. Doesn't that seem like that's true? Like, wouldn't Leddy get it before most of the guys on this roster? For some reason, Hronik's not getting it. Tyler, I just kind of made a joke about why Tyler's not going to get it.
They'd give it to like Ernie. They'd probably give it to somebody like Ernie.
Look at Performance art's right there with me. He's got Leddy too.
Leddy for almost half a season's worth of work? No.
Yeah, but you don't give it. It's not Ernie.
They'd give it to like Ernie, man.
No, you don't give it to Ernie.
Give it to Leddy. Come on.
Leddy's gonna actually put in some legit minutes for this team. That's where like Fabry. I guess he's got a couple of years on a contract. I don't know.
I just feel like really if we give it to Fabry, it'll save us on stitching because he's going to wear it for a couple of years at least.
Maybe there's some actual. Namestnikov. There's your alternate captain right there.
Man, he's about to retire.
The crowd after his fight.
No, he's going to be retiring in about 3 months. He's not getting.
Oh, Tristan's calling out his joke earlier. I completely missed it. DeKeyser. Classic quote. It's not about the goals. It's about the shots missed along the way.
It's about the undeserved assists. Yeah.
All right. We're going to have to make that a t-shirt just for Tristan where he gets we'll have a promo code Tristan and he could buy it for free as many times as he wants. And then Tristan's on board with the Namestnikov. I like this conversation because this is we're the only team right now I think would struggle this hard. Because I'm telling you right now, if I'm looking at the fact that Stahl and DeKeyser are alternates right now, I figure if they were both gone, next on the list is probably Leddy and Gagne. I love that this is like causing so much pain.
Man.
Performance art says, if getting an A means you're on your way out, then give it to Bryce.
Performance art. That's my favorite comment of the show.
That's a good one. All right. Well, I'm glad we had some laughs along the way today. I'm going to pull up our slideshow and see if I missed anything. Oh, I did. Oh, my gosh. All right, Mike, we have to announce our profile for the upcoming month of January.
Yeah.
Last month we did Mitchell Stevens. Of course, Tristan won a $25 gift card. Tristan, you never told me what you spent or you got with that gift card. So it's always good fun. So like I picked the exact name that I'm just joking. I was making jokes when I first announced this competition because I like the idea of another name who was on the list, but then the Red Wings went ahead and did their own episode on that player just a couple weeks ago. So unfortunately, I will not be doing Robbie Fabry because that's going to look super silly for us to completely
future alternate captain. Damn it.
But our winner then is the one that got comments on multiple episodes. So what I mean is people were saying to this very name selection, please pick this name. So they weren't even putting their name in the hat. They were just saying, I saw somebody already pick this name. Please do this name. So I figured that's got to be enough, right? Also, they have the most likes on the page, which anybody watching on YouTube, don't laugh at how many likes it is when I say that. But here's our winner, Giovanni Smith and Nick Meldrum. 3 weeks ago, buddy, you put that answer on there. So if you can reach out to us, what is it? Admin at
BODpodcast.
Yep. BODpodcast.com. Reach out to us and we can get that conversation going, and then I'll be working my way into a Giovanni Smith profile episode. Come to you hopefully before the end of the month.
Sounds good.
Cross your fingers, everyone. All right, so there's some good news, right? That was fun. Who had fun with that announcement?
I did.
I feel terrible that when I first announced this, I was like, I'm not doing Giovanni Smith. He got drafted by us. But there's, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we'll find some fun stuff about him. I'm pumped.
All right, everyone. I felt like this is pretty scatterbrain episode here. It's kind of what happens
when they lose. You got to find some, some softer talking points, I think. And we still got to enjoy Moritz Seider being physical. We talked about Cam Talbot wearing a cutie pie hat.
This is fun wrapping up the episode.
Yeah.
You know what else we talked about? No, I'm just kidding. All right. I got to go get my kids put to bed. But thanks, everybody, for also tuning in as we just randomly said, hey, we're going live in 5 minutes. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're still around, please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at BOD Hockey. We hit 900 followers today. That was fun.
Yes.
Also throw in your questions on this episode. So then the next episode will compile all the different questions we've gotten, and we'll create our question of the week for our mid-week episode. Yeah, I think I said that right. Yes. Right. And we'll see you guys Wednesday night, probably.
I'll be here.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good one. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.